Hey, Libra, and welcome to your March reading. I'm Madeline, if we haven't met before. So, as always, I'm going to pull some tarot cards to look at the story of your month, and then we're going to complete your reading by pulling a couple cards from the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck to get a little astrological planetary perspective. And speaking of that, Libra, we cannot do your reading without mentioning the fact that March 25th, there will be a lunar eclipse in your sign. So if you're a Libra rising, that would be happening in your first house, your house of self. Woo! You see these cards jumping? But depending on, are you a sun in Libra, are you moon in Libra, etc., check your own chart, look at the house where you have Libra, and see which themes are going to be affected by this eclipse. Eclipses, as always, have to do with sudden shifts, new beginnings. Old things may be eclipsed out of your life because it's a portal to a new world. Okay? So prepare yourself, check your chart, share your placement if you want to, like sun in this, moon in that, this rising, and I would be happy to give you a little bit of feedback. Okay, let's get into that story, shall we, Libra? The story for the month of March for my Libra people, Libra sun, Libra moon, Libra rising, and dominant folk spirit. Want to know what is showing up for Libra in the month of March? What they need to know, spirit, for their highest good, for the love and liberation of all my Libras, spirit. We want to know the truth of what is showing up for them this month so that they may navigate it to their greatest advantage. Spirit, what is showing up for Libra? Helpful or hindering influences, themes, anything they need to know of the recent past as it pertains to their unfolding future. I want to know the climate, spirit. I want to know your guidance, what you see as the key. Ooh, to unlock the month. Wow, they just dropped that last one in my lap. Could y'all see that? Perfect. Okay. All right, Libra, let's see what we got here. The Libra in the month of March. Beautiful. Okay, that's some exciting ass energy to kick this off. Let's go. Oh, yeah, don't hold back. That's kind of the headline. Don't hold back. Wow. Wow. So something really interesting for any of you who may maybe watch other readings to look at your rising and moon and sun and etc. I'm curious how many of you have other cardinal signs very prominent in your chart. So that's Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Um, so far, the Hierophant has shown up in every cardinal signs reading, different placements, but I'm very curious about that. There is something going on with us cardinal signs. I mean, eclipses happening in the cardinal signs affects all the cardinal signs. So that really makes sense. The rules are changing and we are changing them. Okay, so Libra, center of your reading, Knight of Wands. Here's you moving forward with passion, making a joyful, passionate leap, which is echoed by your crossing card. The Fool. Spirit is playing Over My Head by Fleetwood Mac, which they brought up another Fleetwood Mac song for another cardinal sign, so this is very fun. Okay. So talking about getting in over your head, there's nothing wrong with that. That's how we learn. So it's like, please don't demonize, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, yay! Can we do that? It's the same thing, right? It's like, no matter what, I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to pursuing this thing that I'm really excited about or whatever. I don't really know what I'm doing is how we figure out what we're doing. Like, we figure it out, we go. So don't hold yourself back out of perhaps a fear that you think you won't be enough or aren't good enough or that other people are better than you at your thing. And this is interesting because Spirit is being very specific, saying some of you may also feel that there are people younger than you who are doing the thing you want to do, and you might be feeling a little bit jealous or a little bit envious or etc. And if you are a Libra person who is experiencing any jealousy or envy, what I would ask you to ask yourself is there a realm in my life where I feel like I'm not showing up fully? Any person or situation or object that you may be envying can point toward places like that for you. And that's really one of the only healthy lines of inquiry when it comes to envy and jealousy. It's not why am I not good enough for that, or why don't I have the blah, 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 blah. No. Okay, that is something that I want. That is a pointer dog going like that way. Let's go. You know what I'm talking about? So, is there a place in your life where you maybe feel like you are not showing up fully? And are you ready to commit? Looks like you might be. Sitting in the position of where you find yourself, we see it is the same mason or crafts person, trades person, saying, you know what? I'm better off when I focus on my own work. I am better off when I am not looking around at anybody else's paper, not checking anybody else's stats. Focus on my craft, my skills, my resources, building my skills, building my resources. That is always the best way. Where am I not showing up fully? How can I show up more? Let me focus on that. It could change everything. Sitting in the position of the unseen, what is going on within you, which will manifest in the outside world, a change of your inner cycle. And again, we're coming up on Aries season. I know we're in Pisces if you're watching this at the beginning of March, but the end of March we'll be entering Aries season, and that means all these planets move to the opposite side of Libra in our chart, right? And begin to, they move into what we call an opposing angle. So suddenly it's like the external world, situations, people, etc., are really, it feels like they're coming at us, not necessarily in a negative way. It can be really exciting. It just depends on factors. One of them being how we deal with lots coming at us and how we feel about what is coming at us, right? So here's some guidance up ahead of time. Get in over your head. There's nothing wrong with that, and there's nothing wrong with you. And keep your eyes on your own paper. It'll be a lot easier to be a holy fool if you keep your eyes on your own paper, if you focus on your own growth. You know what Spirit is showing me, and maybe this is because some of you may be runners or things like that, but Spirit is saying, think like a runner who it's like, I'm only competing against myself. I'm, if there's any competition, it's only me versus me yesterday. Or, that's it's a wholesome type of competitiveness. It's a wholesome type of envy. That's what Spirit is saying, is like, we can take anything and make it wholesome by accepting it. Wow. Okay. That was very big and massive, and I love talking to Spirit. Okay. Sitting in the past. Page of Cups. This is so lovely and so sweet. So sweet, supportive messages, energy. I'm feeling for many of you, this is like a kind, wonderful relationship, like a friend who is like a good mirror for you and gives you good, like it's so good for your heart. Like, hey, I think that you're great at this, or hey, I love that you're doing that, or hey, have you thought about blah, blah. I really like this person. I like this message. Spirit is saying for many of you, this is going to be about remembering a message that somebody said to you in your past that like lives in your heart. And that's how they're putting it. And I love that. Something someone said once to you that was very sweet and rang very true, like a deep bell in your heart. What is that message that rang so true through you and lit you up? That message is pertinent now. Keep it. Maybe put it on a little birthday banner. Order one of those things like online where you can just get a bunch of letters and little clips, and you can make your own like customized message. Just put that shit above your desk or above your bed or somewhere that you will look at it every day. More love, even more love wants to come into your life. Newness. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Knight of Wands. And then let's just jump here too in the energy around and available to you. Three of Wands, new adventure, new horizons, ships coming in, ships going out. Are the ships coming in to bring you something, or are you hopping on one of those ships and going out somewhere? I feel like you might be getting a delivery, literal or figurative, because the Ace of Cups sitting in your future says something wonderful is rushing toward you. It might be overwhelming. Okay, get in over your head. Might be overwhelming. What I feel as I look at this is that it's about love. But love is so much a bigger word than like romance. Not to shit on romance. I love romance. Love a good crush. But love is deeper than that, and this feels like a surge of love. It's a surge, and it's just the beginning. It's like an invitation is what Spirit is saying, and I feel like that's why they're having you remember that old message. It's an invitation, and Spirit is saying it's an invitation, and make it an incantation. Take that message of sweetness, even if it was from your kindergarten teacher that you remembered and that rang so true, and they said, oh my God, you're an artist, or something like that, and it just rang a bell in you. Remember that, and more of that wants to come in. So summon it with incantation. Keep that message close by. Make it your screensaver. Put it on your phone, whatever your deal is. Post it on the mirror, whatever. Summon it. It wants to show up for you. Sitting in the key position. I mentioned earlier that the Hierophant had showed up in everyone's reading so far that I've done of all the cardinal signs. And the Hierophant is the rules. Whose rules are you living by? Whose ranks are you climbing, even in your own mind? And you might save yourself some energy because you may realize that you're climbing some ranks that you don't actually care about. I feel like there's clarity available around that, and the clarity comes from doing, not from thinking. Does that make sense? It's not about like, oh, let me think about that. It's okay, let me get in the kitchen and cook. Let me get to the table and work. Let me get my hands into the clay and sculpt. And along my way, I'm going to figure out what the rules are for myself and what makes sense for me, and which gates I really actually want to walk through, and which ranks I actually really want to climb. You know what I'm talking about? Spirit is saying with that Fool, there may be some people that you could be more than happy to disappoint by falling off. You know what I mean? Like, oh wait, I don't actually believe in this. I'm going to like kind of fall out of that group or fall out of that organization because I'm falling into a new way of being. I'm actually going to trust that bell that rung in my heart maybe a long time ago. And I'm going to go forward, and I'm going to move forward with trust, and I'm just going to stay on my path. Eight of Pentacles is a wonderful card for your skills are growing, your money is growing, your future is growing. Like it is fertile. And Eight of Pentacles is not about, toiling away. It's about joyful effort. It's like that immediate feedback of like, getting the hands in the clay, as I said, and it's like, wow, the thing I made today is better than the thing I made yesterday. This is so cool. Or even, no, maybe it's not better, but it's interesting. It's different than what I made yesterday. It's not about better always. Like I'm growing, I'm changing. And Spirit is saying that even all artists, including even the great ones, go through periods of like slump, or where their work feels awkward to them, or they think it's ugly, or maybe even other people think it's ugly, or your favorite musician that put out a second album and everybody hated it because it didn't sound just like the first one, and it's like, yeah, I'm a fucking artist. Shit be morphing. I don't know what to tell you. It's not my job to keep it the same for you or keep it pristine or perfect for you. My job is to grow and evolve, and the work grows and evolves with me. And growing and evolving includes pubescence and an awkward stage. What can I tell you? My art has acne. That's okay. I'm not going to hate my art because it has a zit, the same way I wouldn't hate myself or my inner child if they showed up with a zit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Whose rules? Not those bullshit rules, right? Finally, beautifully, sitting in the potential position, your greatest hopes and fears. You had an Ace of Cups in your future. Now you have an Ace of Pentacles sitting in the potential. So, love, love and money, resources, potential. If you build it, they will come, is one of the things Spirit is saying. And they are saying it might sound backwards to you to say that as you hone your skills and focus on what you're doing now without worrying about the money, it becomes easier for the money to show up. I don't know. I'm just the messenger. Please let me know in the comments if you end up figuring out what that meant. I'm very curious. I'm a Libra Sun / Libra Stellium myself. So, very curious. Okay. Now let's pull a couple of star codes cards. Spirit, we want to get guidance, advice, or perhaps a unifying theory for Libra in the month of March. That was easy. Wow. Wow. Okay, so your first card, North Node. The keyword here is future. The North Node in your chart, if you are not familiar, represents the point of growth for you in this lifetime. The point where if you head in the direction of wherever your North Node is, that leads to fulfillment, that leads to a sense of self, that leads to a sense of like, wow, I'm really doing what I was here on, like, put on this earth to do, right? So the growing edge, North Node. Your second card up, dignified. The keyword is strength. In astrology, a planet can be dignified by being in a sign that it really likes and that does good things for it, right? So sometimes, you know, Mars, right, like can find its dignity in a sign that is different than one that you might expect. So challenges are good for us, and a lot of it depends on perspective. A lot of it depends on our willingness to say, fuck, okay, what if I just pretend that everything that happens in my life is happening in the name of my growth and expansion and understanding and evolution? What if I just believe that like a fool would? And what if I interpret things that way? That will dignify my future. I'm just going to leave it at that because that's powerful as fuck. And I'm going to be integrating that for a while. Ha! How's that sit on you, Libra? How does that make you feel? What's that bringing up for you? Questions, stories, reflections? Let me know. Be happy, so grateful to hear from you in the comments. Of course, I should say this more often. If you liked this, please like it. And subscribe if you really liked it. That'd be amazing. And if you ever want a personal reading, the way to do that is just south of this video as well. I appreciate your time very much, Libra, and I hope that this investment that you made pays for itself many times over. If I don't see you before then, I hope that I'll see you in your mid-month reading. Bye, Libra.